y'all always catching me when I have some chips or something like that. And them kettle chips, they get like stuck in your mouth. You know, they get. I was fired up about the last one. It was a little embarrassing. It's a little bit. Some people wouldn't be embarrassed at all. It was a little embarrassing when I think about it. That would have been a horrible conversation. That would have been a horrible conversation for family members. Because, you know, and see, a lot of things too, when I be hearing certain things on the internet, certain things on the news, and I'd be like, man, how that happened, or why that person do that, or why didn't they might have had no shame for their family. Because your family, a lot of times, if you got a family that might have been like, man, that ain't cool, you're gonna have shame about your transgressions and your crimes and the things that you know, the things that you might do or whatever, if you have some kind of shame or whatever the case may be. But this story is gonna be a little lighter, so it wasn't really a darkness story. So this is gonna be a story on kind of that same side of town. Now, like I say, I spent a good majority of my time over south. Now remember, I lived in Cedar Riverside over here, and I used to take the bus, several buses. You had to take maybe 2 buses or take the number 7. And now look, going on Chicago and Lake, we gonna go down here. This was another major spot we spent a lot of time at, tons of time. I went to that hibachi maybe once. It wasn't all that great. This building was never here. There was a bus station right here that we used to like take up and down Nicollet Avenue. Nicollet. Now here's Nicollet, right? Well, now this is first, but Nicollet, this is where you catch the bus though, going back towards downtown. All right. Now this Walgreens, I don't remember the Walgreens being there, but let's keep going. Now look, this shows in 2022. This was a Kmart. That's where I got that Soldier Slim. Years later, he went independent, sold pretty well, and then he signed with Koch, and I think they gave him a pretty good deal. So now, all right, let me see how if I could go down a little more. Damn. Okay, I think I got to figure out how to do this. I'm trying to think how I can go up here. Maybe I'll go this way, because sometimes we used to get off the bus and walk this way. I don't think those fences were up. All right, and this gas station, we used to go to this gas station sometime. There used to be a security guard over there. He didn't really want us over there too much. I got kind of a ride in the Chevy story about this one. Actually, this little area right here, this block right here, quite a bit went over there too. Nothing bad. I'll just say, so here's the car wash. All right, now let me see if I can. All right, here's Nicollet. All right, so look, here's the story. This El Rey wasn't there. 7 Miles was there. Ching's Garden, I ain't ate there in a minute. This Hallow place, I'm gonna have to go and do a little story right. But this was the spot. There used to, right here, it used to be a Payless. And there's a story I'm gonna do about when I was very young and immature. There was a chick from Chicago, which I should have had dealt with for a long time, but I really didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was too damn immature. She used to be there, and now Ching's Garden, we used to go there damn near every day. 7 Mile Bargain. Cost Cutters wasn't here. A lot of these places weren't here. El Rey, a lot of these places weren't here. You see what I'm saying? Dollar Tree, I don't think they were there. No, Dollar Tree I think was there. Walgreens wasn't there. This was the Office Depot. This right here was the Office Depot. That's how long that I've kind of been out the loop, because I didn't really have much reason to go there. Now, I'll tell you another story right here. This used to be a bank right here. There was a Wells Fargo. I think it's still there. There's a Wells Fargo, but I could have sworn it was right here. Maybe I'm tripping. But anyway, There was a badass chocolate chick. She used to try to holler at me up there. But then I seen her like a year later, and I was like, but anyway, so now this little 7 Mile bargain place or whatever. I'm getting to the story. We used to stand out here and sell CDs and mixtapes. There was a Radio Shack here too. There was this dude named Lewis that had a red car, red Monte Carlo, whatever. There was a lot of brothers that worked in that Radio Shack, and that's where we got a lot of our new flip phones. So this might be like a little 2-part story if I got time. So now I'll tell you the story. I think I had cornrows around this. I'm not sure, but I went in there to buy some stuff for my hair or to buy something. And at the 7 Mile bargain, there was this Cambodian chick. They came in. I think I just got my hair braided or something like that. And I came in, fresh white tee and everything, had some pocket full of money. And this girl, she was super bad. She was bad. So she was really choosing up, because I was asking about where this is or whatever, and she's trying to show me around and stuff like that. If I had to say how the closest to how she may have looked, it probably would have been maybe close to this a little bit. Maybe her teeth were a little smaller or whatnot, but she looked kind of like she looked a little bit like her. So she's chopping it up, asking me my name, stuff like that. She's trying to see what's going on. She's taking no for an answer. I'm gonna have to do part 2. Check on my son, see how he's doing. Hold on. I'll do part 2. I'll come back, y'all. I'll just end the recording. Matter of fact, can I pause it? Oh hell, I could pause. I think that's dope that you could. I don't remember this pause button being there before, unless I just didn't pay no mind to it. But you could like restart. You could, like, if I want to restart the story, and that kind of helps, because if I'm being interrupted, I hate being interrupted when I'm recording stuff. It really bothers me. But sometimes you might have to get interrupted. And yeah, so I'm trying to chop her up, and it's this baby donkey gremlin looking chick. She's behind the counter too. Like, she's real ugly. Like, you know what I'm saying? She got a weird shape. She's, she got an extra long neck. You know what I'm saying? And she kind of looked like a little gremlin. You know what I'm saying? And she had this little grimace, this little Lord of the Rings, My Precious vibe. You know what I'm saying? And she was hating the whole time, like when we were talking and stuff like that. And this, I think what it is, because it was mainly like a black staff, and it's kind of mixed up. I don't know who owned the place. It might have been some Asians that owned it. I don't know. 9 times out of 10, it probably was. But the Cambodian girl, I didn't see her in there a lot, but she was like, hey, we should go to the movies. Like, she was really, she saw what she liked what she saw. And she was kind of like, she kept complimenting me, like, you fine and all this kind of stuff and all. And so I'm steady trying to chop it. Every time we start talking, the little gremlin chick, she's interrupting. You know what I'm saying? And so now I say, where is this at or whatever? And, I said, let me go grab this. It was a do-rag. It was something like that I was getting. And some hair grease or whatever. I go to get it. They tell me where it's at. And the gremlin follows me. She was doing everything she could to try to infiltrate and hate on my game. And eventually I got annoyed to the point where I paid. I was so irritated, I think, that I paid and I forgot to get the Cambodian chick's phone number. And for weeks I was like, man, I wish I would have, you know what I'm saying? Because she was bad. I could tell she was submissive. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I should have just ignored it and said, hey, look, because I was making a couple dollars and stuff. But then again, too, my confidence game, it was cool, but I still didn't have a lot of experience. I'm just pretty much like fresh out of high school or something. This might have been, I think it was before, it had to have been before 05. 05 is the marker where I was kind of leaning towards getting my own apartment. So it was before that, and it was before IPR, I'm quite sure. That's what I think. I think it could have been 01, 02 or whatever. It could have been. That's what I think, because, you know, I didn't start really kind of getting, I got a lot more confident once I was kind of out on my own, and I was kind of like, okay, if anything happens, can't nobody, well, you with your parents? No, I'm on my own. So if anything happens, I moved to my own beat, and it's my fault. So I'm responsible for myself 100% right now. You see what I'm saying? So I don't have nobody, you know. I felt, even after high school, I kind of felt like I was a burden anyway. To be quite honest, I did. I didn't really like, you know, I had told my mom even when I was 14, 12, 13, you know, as soon as I'm 18, I want to be out. And she's like, well, what's the rush and everything? And I'm like, I just need to be at 18. I don't need to be here. So I already kind of felt as if I had stayed too long anyway. I felt like I had soured my welcome anyway. I had always felt like that. I just never expressed it. This is the first time me saying this. I'd always felt that I stayed too long anyway. You know, I thought that a man should, when he's 18, he should pack up and be out. I felt like I stayed way too long. I wasn't doing anything, you know, I wasn't messing up the house, or I wasn't doing nothing. I wasn't bringing a bunch of, you know, bad people around. I had a lot of company, but, you know, that's another reason why, you know, like, I remember my mom told me one time, well, you have a lot of girls over or whatever. That right there, I said, yeah, it's time to go. So when I said, Mom, I'm about to move out. Why? Well, what's the rush? Why don't you just get your degree yet, or get yourself? Well, if I start making a whole bunch of money on paper, they just gonna raise your rent. It's no point. So I left. I think I was one of the first of my friends to have my own spot. I was adamant about that. I had to. You see what I'm saying? So, because there's things that I'm going to want to do. I might want to smoke. I might want to drink. I might want to have I might want to bring 2-3 broads in here and have a damn orgy or some weird shit or whatever. You know, I might want to, you can't do that at Mom's house. It's time to go. I want to come in at all hours of the night. You know, I want to, and I'm out and about. Let's say I do get into a bad situation and someone follows me home. I didn't have a car at the time, you know, or whatever, you know, so like, it was time to go. But yeah, man, that spot right here, this was a cornerstone spot. This was a great spot for us. We made a lot of money, and we spent, man, Chang's Garden, we spent money over there for forever. That, you know, I don't know if that was Chinese or whatever, but I used to get and then right here used to be a good spot too. There was a bus station right here. You see the outline of downtown Minneapolis right here. This used to be the Kmart. They just kind of just left a blight on the town. Like, I don't know why they just left it like that. Actually, Nicollet looks pretty good if you ask me. Going all the way up Nicollet, there's a lot more new buildings and stuff like that. Let's go down here. We used to go to the Popeyes. I ain't been down there in a minute. This is a new building. White Castle's still there. Now, this is from 2022, but I think White Castle's still there. This wasn't there when I was a kid. This was a bar. It used to be a lot of shootouts, and people used to get messed up in that bar. It used to be always something going on in the bar. H&R Block's still there. I never really dealt with none of these buildings. I don't know what they do, but this building's new. Yeah, this building on Pillsbury wasn't there. This is 2019. It's still. I went to this Walgreens a few times. I never liked the parking. So the Enterprise, we used to go to this Wendy's sometimes, JJ Hooks. I didn't really go there that much. I think that JJ Hooks was since 2017. Popeyes, I'm still trying to. Well, wait a minute. This wasn't JJ Hooks. This was Wendy's. I believe there was a dude. There was a kid that was 16 that got killed maybe around 05. And I think he was from this neighborhood. I think he was from the 30s. But I think he had got killed around this Wendy's. This was a Wendy's. Not a JJ Hooks. I've never been to this JJ Hooks before. Uptown Pond. You know. Yeah, man. This wasn't here. You know what I mean? Lake Street's not like how it used to be. So, you know, that's my story on that. That was like the one and only chance that I could have bagged a badass Cambodian chick over south, that is. Super bad. And I got grandly hated on by the baby donkey gremlin. That chick looked like a gremlin, bro. And I could see why she was hating. Because she seen that chick choosing and she was trying to stop that at all costs. I don't even know if I seen the girl again when the next time I went in there. I don't know. But I know she was behind the counter. So I don't know who owned that spot. But, you know, we used to buy a lot of stuff at Radio Shack. I used to buy a lot of phones and all kind of stuff like that when that Radio Shack occurred. I mean, when it was there. And I remember when the old Radio Shack was over there by the Target, where, you know, the Target on 20, you know, by Minnehaha, the Target had burnt down. There was a Radio Shack there, and there was actually an inside mall back in the day. There was a Dairy Queen where you could actually go inside, and there was like an Orange Julius. That was way, way back. That was probably maybe 97 or something like that. I can't remember. But there was a Dairy Queen there. Because you could walk inside. It was like an inside mall, and they had a couple different, I don't know if people remember that. But, you know, over there by Target, they did have that. They had a Radio Shack over there. I used to spend a lot of money at that Radio Shack. I spent a lot of money at that Radio Shack. So, you know, and it was cool. And at one point, they used to try to get me to work there a lot of times. And I probably should have. I probably should have worked at that Radio Shack and then gets grinded on the side. I would have cut out a lot of problems and a lot of time wasting, you know, to a certain degree. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, I ended up at Sears, which is a place I would have never wanted to work at. I ended up at Sears, but I didn't quit because I felt like if I did quit, I wasn't gonna finish anything that I started to do. And so that made me, once I got that job at Sears, I moved out them projects, got on Minnehaha, and that's when I started kind of forming a real plan that would change my life. You see what I'm saying? Around 07. Like I said, when I moved into that, it was a short window before I got myself together quick. It didn't take long. And I'm gonna do a story time on that.